Good day, all kings and queens, all gods and goddesses, all beautiful people. I am Be Floss to God, and today I'm going to be speaking about praying and fasting. All right. Now, to pray is to assume the wish fulfilled, right? Whatever it is that you desire to be or whatever it is you desire to have, once you can assume that you already have it and that you are it right now in the present moment, that is prayer, right? Prayer is not asking for something and wishing and hoping that it comes into being, right? You assume you already have what it is that you desire. You already assume that you are that man and that woman, all right, that you desire to be. That is a successful prayer. Now, fasting. Now, as I would have said, the Bible is all it's a secular history. It's all a metaphor. The drama is taking place within you and I, right? Now, fasting. You have the spiritual fast, mental fast, and the physical fast, right? And in the Bible, it speaks about fasting, I think, over 70 times or something like that, Um, in the Old Testament, they spoke about mostly just basically about the fasting, right? And then in the New Testament, that's when they said they mostly mentioned about fasting and praying, right? That's when they mostly combine the two in the New Testament, right? Now, from my perspective, right, the Bible does speak about both the physical and the mental and spiritual fast, right? Now, the mental fast is basically you focusing completely on assuming that you are the man and the woman that you desire to be, or you are assuming that you already have what it is that you desire to have, right? For a period of time. Just putting your full focus and attention, assuming what it is that you want to have, or what it is you want to experience in your 3D reality, right? So let's say you're using your affirmations or your scripting or your imaginal acts, right? And you set aside, let's say, a whole day, right? Or a couple days, just to just focus, and just it's like a mental diet. It's like you're going on a mental diet, like throughout the whole day, that's just your main focus on assuming the wish fulfilled, right? That is like a mental fast, right? What do we call like a mental diet? That's like a mental fast, right? The physical fast, no, is no consuming of food, no solid foods, periods, right? Just liquids. It could be herbal teas or water, right? Now, when you combine those two, right, that is like a gateway now to like the spiritual side. It helps you to like tap into the spiritual side, right, within even more. Even though there's only one way to the Father, that is through the Son, which is our own wonderful human imagination, that being within us, right? But fasting and stuff like that, it helps. It's like a gateway still. It's like a gateway to our higher self. Getting in tune with our higher self, God, the Most High, even closer. You know, um, Fasting physically, not consuming foods, it has a lot of benefits. But I will create a video separate, to discuss about fasting. Just fasting itself in the physical. You know, but yeah, the mental and the physical fast, right? And then you have prayer, right? So when you combine the two, praying and fasting, and praying is assuming the wish fulfilled, right? And the fasting now, as I said before, you have the two types, the mental and the physical, right? So when you can combine those two, the mental and the physical fasting, right? Just spending a period of time, focusing on what it is that you desire, like assuming it, right? And also not consuming any foods, right? You tap into that power within you even more. Things become a bit more clearer, like your mind becomes more clearer, you can think more clear after a period of time, and it also brings about manifestations quicker from my experience, right? So that's why the Bible, mentions about the importance about fasting, and praying together. So if you can combine the two, and immediately the physical fasting, is not really a necessity, but it's very powerful still, and it has its benefits, right? So when you can combine the two together, the praying and the fasting, both the physical fasting and the mental fasting, right? It has great results, you know. In Daniel chapter 10, verse 3, right? It says what I did not consume of any foods, right? No meat or wine touched my lips, and I didn't use any lotions, right? Lotions is like cream for the skin, until the 3 weeks were up, until the 3 weeks were over, right? So in that scripture, Daniel, that's he's speaking about the he was fasting physically. That's like the physical fast, He didn't consume any meat or wine or anything like that, you know. And he didn't put no lotions on his skin, so that's like a dry fast, right? Because you have the dry fast and you have a liquid fast as well, But as I said before, we get into that into another when they do another video, right? But right there in that scripture, Daniel chapter 10 verse 3, that's a physical fast. No consuming of meat or anything like that until the 3 weeks were over, right? So that is the physical fast here. In certain parts of the Bible, it also talks about fasting and praying. So when they say fast and pray, from my concept, there's no taking, no intake of solid foods at all. That's the physical fast, no, right? Because praying is assuming the wish fulfilled, right? Assuming that you already are that man and that woman you desire to be, or you already have what it is that you desire to have, right? And the fasting, as I said before, there's the mental fast and there's the physical fast, right? And the mental fast is not paying any attention at all to anything that is opposite to what it is that you desire to have, right? So it's like a mental diet. So that mental fast is that you're spending quality time assuming you wish fulfilled for a period of time. So if that was like the mental fast that you're talking about right there in that part where it says fast and pray, it wouldn't make sense to say, um, mentally assume the desire of the wish fulfilled for a long period of time and pray, which means to assume the wish fulfilled. Right? It wouldn't make sense in that theory, in that sentence right there, right? Because it would be just repeating themselves, like assuming the wish fulfilled and assume the wish fulfilled, right? So from my perspective is I take it as in that part where it says fast and pray, it's meaning do not intake any solid foods or anything like that, The most you can drink is water, because you're not consuming any foods in the body, right? And there's something that powerful that happens within us when we don't consume any food and we just drink liquid, like water. We just consume the water because the energy taken out to break down the foods, right? It's used now to heal the body and what's not, So something magical happens there, causing our minds now to have more mental clarity and stuff like that. As I said before, we'll speak about that in another video, right? So that's my perspective of it. To fast and pray. No intaking of any solid foods for a period of time. Just water, Well, assuming the wish fulfilled. Whether it be through imaginary acts, scripting, or affirmations, I mean, you can combine those two together. Right? That's like a gateway now to the spiritual side. Right? It helps you to tap in to that spiritual side of you. Right? That spiritual part of you helps you to get closer to your higher self. God, the Most High, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so that is my perspective, on fasting and praying. Right? Now, Neville Goddard, in it was more than one lecture though that he mentioned this. I can't remember the name of the guy, but this guy, he became a multi-millionaire, He was very rich. And Neville Goddard said that this guy said in the interview how he did it. One day, he locked himself in a room. The guy, he locked himself in a room for 16 hours. He didn't have any water, any food, or nothing for 16 hours, right? And within that 16-hour interval, he kept repeating the affirmations. I have a lavish, steady, dependable income, consistent with integrity and mutual benefits. That was the affirmation he kept repeating over and over all the time for 16 hours. Right? Now, not only was that a mental fast, right? Because within 16 hours, that's a long time. That's almost a whole day. Right? That he's just focusing on that affirmation, right? So he's like fasting, like he's not focusing on anything else but that. Right? So that's like a mental fast that he did there, right? And he also said he didn't even have a glass of water to drink. You know what I mean? No food, no nothing. You know what I mean? And that's like a dry fast, because a dry fast, no, you don't consume no liquids or anything, no food or anything. You don't even have any showers, right? As I said before, we'll speak about that in another video, because there are different types of fasting, right? So in that interval, he not only did a physical fast but a mental fast as well, right? And that's all he did. 16 hours in that interval, and just kept repeating that affirmation over and over and over again. And not too long in the future, he did reap the harvest. He did become a multi-millionaire. You know, I think he had his own business or multiple businesses, because within that 16-hour interval, right, the subconscious mind, you know, it didn't have no choice but to be impressed. The affirmations that he was repeating over and over all the time, 16 hours, right, just keep repeating that over and over all the time. It had no choice but to be impressed upon the subconscious mind. Right? So in that interval, you know, he had a very close relationship with his higher self, God, the Most High. Fasting and praying. Right? Now, I did a fast before, a couple months ago. Well, and that wasn't the first time though, but that was the first time that I actually went that long. It started in January and ended in February. I did 33 days of a water fast. Right? And you know, it wasn't easy in the beginning. It's not easy, you know, but I managed to push through. I wanted to go for 40, but I couldn't make the 40. I ended at 33. You know, because you know, I'm the type of person, I love my belly bad. You know, I love to eat, but fasting also helps with discipline and stuff. You know, so I have no regrets. Right? I did 33 days of the fasting and praying, because I was meditating and doing my affirmations and imaginal acts and what's not. Right? Now this is May, and I decided to start another fast again, a water fast for 21 days. Right? Starting from today. Right? So I had nothing to eat today, you know. So we plan to go for 21 days. So around early April, that should be the ending of it. You know, just water, no solid foods. While I meditate and do my affirmations and stuff like that, you know. It's very powerful. It has its benefits too, as well. You know, so you can give it a try. Alright? So that's my message today about fasting and praying. Praying is assuming the wish fulfilled. You know, the fasting, as I said before, there's the physical fast, the mental fast, and the spiritual fast, right? And if you can combine both, the fasting and the praying, you'll see tremendous results. Not only on the physical body, but within as well. And it also helps with the manifestation process as well too. Right? In a positive way. Okay, so fast and pray. The next video I'm going to do is going to be about fasting itself, you know, the physical fast, the process and stuff like that, and the benefits, you know, and the power it has, the power it holds. Alright? I am Be Floss to God, sending you love, peace, joy, prosperity, and blessings. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so now. Feel free to like, feel free to comment, feel free to share my videos as well. Alright? Send you peace and love, and happy manifesting.